What's going on, YouTube? I'm Chuck. This is my daughter Juliet, and this is Chemical Reaction. We're going to be reacting to some music from across all the genres. My background's a bit more in metal. Juliet's background's a bit more in rap.
Yeah, I don't really listen to metal music. I got my Wu-Tang Clan shirt on. Last concert I went to was Drake, so not really my thing, but it's going to be interesting to check it out.
You know, today we figured we'd start with a song by a German band called Rammstein. I remember Rammstein from, I don't know, at this point probably almost 20 years ago, when they came out with Du Hast. That was definitely a game changer. First of all, to have a German band singing in German kind of pierced the North American market. It was certainly a different sound. So, and I think just recently, I'm assuming after a hiatus, because we didn't hear about them much between, I guess, back then and today, but they came out with a new album. And on this, there's a song called Deutschland, which, if my German is correct, means Germany.
Yeah, I'm a former German student, not taking German anymore, and I'm also taking AP European History, so I know a little bit about Germany, so this is going to be interesting to watch. Not sure if I can understand what they're saying, but I'll do my best.
Yeah, and so disclaimer, I did hear the song on the radio. I haven't seen the clip yet, and I hear the clip is fairly interesting. I think it's going to be new clip and new song for Juliet, so brand new reaction. So without further ado, why don't we get started with Rammstein Deutschland.
Yeah. Okay, looks pretty creepy.
Yeah. I guess they're really making it like a movie almost, right?
Was that Voldemort?
I don't know. No nose. So I assume this is meant to represent the history of Germany, right? Which obviously has a very long and prolific history. Well, obviously some good and some bad. So interesting to see where they take it.
Not sure what the lasers are about, though.
Wow.
Okay. That's definitely not German history.
It looks like that actress, I guess African German. We seem to see her in a few of these plans.
Coming in really strong with the intro.
Let's pause it real quick. I mean, a few things right off the bat, right? I think Rammstein, I don't know if they did that back in the day, but certainly with this song, they are mixing some electronic music along with the more heavy sound of the drums and the guitar. I'm wondering if maybe the actress that we're seeing, I don't know if she maybe she represents like Germany as a whole, or like Germany as a character.
Yeah.
Because we've seen her probably 3 or 4 times already in different situations, right? So almost kind of the story of Germany. Seen through the eyes of this person acting as almost a conduit for the country. I don't know.
I think there's also an interesting mix between some of the more historical aspects that we're seeing. We were seeing people dressed up in kind of traditional battle gear. It looked really medieval. And then we're also seeing some lasers, some more futuristic aspects. There were some guys dressed like astronauts. So I think that's kind of an interesting crossover that's going on there. Not sure where that's going to lead, but it's giving me like almost post-apocalyptic vibes. Not sure.
Yeah, maybe. Let's see where it takes us.
All right.
It is very well made, though.
Yeah, the cinematography is beautiful.
Yes. This almost looks like it could be out of a Quentin Tarantino movie. Or Gangs of New York, maybe?
I want to pause to talk about something real quick. It almost looks like World War II. There's the soldiers' outfits, I guess. There was the same girl from before who was dressed like a soldier.
Yeah.
The mustaches are very reminiscent of that time period. That's something that a lot of men back in the 40s in Germany, that's how they kind of wore their facial hair. I think obviously the most famous who had a mustache like that was Hitler, but
the bit smaller.
Story behind that is World War I, they had the gas mask that they had to wear because there was a lot of chemical warfare going on.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of men who were not able to get the masks on properly because of all the facial hair that they had, so they actually cut it down to fit the gas mask. So that's kind of the story behind that, which I think is pretty interesting.
Yeah, or like I pointed out, it looks a bit like Daniel Day-Lewis in Gangs of New York, which I'm not sure. So if you know when it's supposed to represent, I think it was meant to be, I'm gonna say 1700s, but I'm not sure. So if you've seen Gangs of New York recently, I saw the actor playing this character with the big mustache, and that's kind of where my mind went. So let me know what you think.
Also, the guy's voice is really deep.
Yes.
Kind of creepy. Almost sounds like, Thriller by Michael Jackson. There's a guy who does the really deep, kind of creepy voice in the middle of it.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it sounds like.
Okay. That's a bit disturbing. I guess that's Germany again, sort of getting eaten. It's representing the evil, obviously, that happened over the course of the German history. Now we're in war, right? So either First World War or Second World War. Second, I would assume.
Yeah, they have the stars on their shirts. Wow. Alright, this is getting pretty intense.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to take a second to kind of let it all in. But certainly it's Rammstein, right? So they've never shied away from any controversy, and it looks like they're still very much with that same mentality. They are not afraid of showing the atrocities that happened during the Second World War. We saw some hangings, I assume, of Jewish people. So they're not afraid to show the bad parts of their German history, for sure.
I think that's so important too. And one thing in Germany is after World War II, it's illegal to deny that the Holocaust occurred.
Yeah.
And it's illegal to be a Nazi. And I think recognizing even the bad parts of your history is something that's so important to make sure that the same things don't happen again. I'm also thinking that definitely the girl that we were talking about earlier is probably a personification of Germany.
Yeah.
I think throughout history, a lot of nations have been represented as women in paintings and art and other things of the sort. So I think she's probably a symbol of how Germany has changed over time. So I think that's pretty interesting. So the fact that she was getting eaten was a little bit creepy.
Yeah.
Not sure what that was about. Maybe how Germany was broken down and built back up so many times. It took a long time for Germany to finally be unified. In the interwar period, after World War I and after World War II, was kind of broken down and dug into a bit, and it's built itself back up. So
yeah, or maybe famines, or kind of where you feel like your insides is eating itself. You're so hungry. Let's keep it going. They seem to be moving from on fire. Whoa. Wow. Again, very, very intense, right? Hard to watch at times. It's really poignant.
Visually stunning, though.
Yes.
I wonder who directed this.
And then outer space.
Okay, so Ruby called me, and she
it says
she's playing Germania, which would be the female personification of Germany. So
yeah, we just looked it up on the IMDb page. It looks like the actor plays Germania. So obviously Germania, Germany. So she does represent the motherland, if you will. So. So if we're thinking back on this video, obviously very, very poignant, very well made. I don't remember having seen a video for a song that was so well directed. And they don't shy away from any controversy. They don't shy away from the difficult parts. It's just very well made.
It was definitely very much built like a movie. Like some of these parts almost put together could have seemed like a trailer for a film about the history of Germany.
All right, so we'll leave it here, YouTube. So if you like what we did, please hit a like button. If you have any comments on what we can do to make it better, if you have any comments on the song, please comment down below. We'll be sure to go down the comments and respond to as many as we can. We've also put the link to the official video in the description. So if you'd like to see it in its entirety in full screen mode, please go click that link and watch it for yourself. So
smash that subscribe button.
That's right. Yeah, if you're new, first time seeing us, please, if you'd like to see more, hit the subscribe button, and we look forward to hearing back from you.